It's your boy James Ellsworth, the man who beat AJ Styles not once, not twice, but 3 times the real winner of the first ever Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And you're watching WrestleBeards Worldwide.
WrestleBeards, we got all your wrestling gear. WrestleBeards, woo! Hairy man with dirty beards. WrestleBeards Worldwide.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our first official WrestleBeards Worldwide predictions video. I'm your host Shrek, and I'm joined today by my co-host.
Yeah, Luke Carpenter here. Hi guys, thanks for joining.
Fantastic. So we're quite excited about this video. This is actually basically why we got the channel together. We've been making predictions back and forth through the years on WhatsApp and together, and now we get to do it for your viewing pleasure.
Yeah, so any bad predictions we make, they will no longer remain a secret. There have been some shocking ones in the past.
Oh, there have been. Well, I'll explain to our viewers how the points are going to total up for our predictions. So basically, if we choose the winner of the match correctly, we'll get 1 point. If we choose the way that the match has been won, then you'll get a subsequent 1 point added. And at the end of the pay-per-view, all the points will be added together, and the winner shall be crowned the title holder. So we've got a few other dummies thrown in the mix, one of them being the Money in the Bank. So Money in the Bank is obviously currently being held by The Miz, or the men's version anyway, yet to cash in. So we've given ourselves both a Money in the Bank briefcase, and we can cash it in just one time. If we decide that in a pay-per-view, The Miz will cash in his title, we can cash in ours. And should he win the title in that cash-in, then we'll get 5 points added to our totals. Now, if he should cash in and not win his match, then we'll only get 2 points added to our totals. So still some incentive. Once you've played your Money in the Bank briefcase, you don't get another chance to do so. And obviously, if it leads up to the calendar year and he, for some reason, doesn't cash it in, then we don't get a chance either.
Yeah,
of course. The other dummy in the works is the 24/7 title, currently held by R-Truth, Luke and my favorite title on the roster.
Love it.
Basically, it could be defended any time, obviously. It's an unpredictable title, can be defended 24/7, and it has been defended at several pay-per-views on the fly. So we've decided it's a bit of a risk-taker thing. You'll get 1 point if you think that R-Truth, the current champion, leaves with the title, if you bank on that. Otherwise, you can risk it and say, no, I think he's going to lose and leave. The title will be leaving on someone else's shoulders. And if you think that, then you'll get 2 points.
Yep.
And should you be able to guess who that champion is, then you'll get 3 points. So a little bit of a spanner in the works. What do you think about that, Luke?
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot more than I like the 24/7 title.
It's a shocker, isn't it? But I do love R-Truth.
Yes, yeah. It's like it's all about him and showcasing him. He's excellent.
Now, before we get on to the predictions, I just want to give a bit of insight into how this has come about. So we have been doing this for several years, and each time we do have a predictions between us, we normally put on the line a bottle of vodka. And currently I have 3 bottles in my possession. Thank you, Luke.
Long overdue. Hopefully I'll get some back.
Well, just to tell the tale of the tape from the previous few months of 2020, I started the year as the champion of 2019. And then, sadly, in my favorite pay-per-view, and yours, Luke, you won at Royal Rumble, and you became the new champion. After that, I regained my championship at WrestleMania, which I was very stoked to do so. And then from there on out, we've actually been playing ping pong with getting either ties or trying to go for advantages. And just never really getting the upper hand on one another. Do you want to elaborate more on that, Luke?
Yeah, it's been crazy. Like the three big pay-per-views other than the WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, which we've already spoken about, every single one was a tie. And what's interesting about that is because the way me and Shrek would do it is we wouldn't be allowed to pick the same person, which we can do now in these predictions. So the fact that there wasn't a clear winner in any of those was a bit, it was mad. And the advantage ones were on like the not the best pay-per-views. Payback and Extreme Rules both weren't too great. But yeah, like hopefully we can get a clear, definitive winner now with the new the new way that we're doing it, and keep it interesting.
Well, that's right, Luke. Just like the WWE likes to crap all over their own history, we're going to be doing the same. So out the door goes any prior rules, and in come the new ones. And I'm just looking forward to getting on with our first predictions. So she'll get it underway.
Let's go.
All right. Well, the first match we're going to be predicting is for the Raw Tag Team Championships. We have the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Wood, defending against the Hurt Business, consisting of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Who do you think is going to come out on top for this one, Luke, and tell us why?
So it's one I went back and forth with. I have opinions for both, and I like both teams. New Day are one of my favorites over the past couple of years, and kind of what we both said in our previous podcast, what got me back into or got me into tag team wrestling. They've been excellent. And the Hurt Business have been great. But unfortunately, I think that the WWE are going to play it safe, and I think they're going to keep the titles on Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Not that I think they should be doing that, because I think the Hurt Business are they're on a bit more of a sort of swifter. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. They're picking up more traction, and they're becoming more and more popular. So I do think Hurt Business will get it, and I think the Hurt Business should get it tomorrow. I don't think they will, though. I think that the New Day will keep the titles. I think the New Day will keep the titles by a pinfall finish, and then I think the Hurt Business will have to wait for a little bit more to get their hands on the titles.
Okay, that's interesting, Luke, because just off the bat, I'm going to have to beg to differ on that one. And I think the Hurt Business are going to come away with the titles. I think it's long overdue. I do think they're one of the hottest acts in WWE at the moment, especially on Raw. Obviously, Retribution aside, my favorite act. But I do think that the Hurt Business are doing some great things under the tutelage of MVP, who's just phenomenal, in my opinion. This group's come out of nowhere, and it's really utilized some bottom feeders in the company, and now suddenly they're doing some great things. Cedric was doing nothing in the cruiserweight division, and Shelton Benjamin, I don't even know where he was. I thought he might have died, actually, and suddenly he's back, and he's in contention for the tag titles. So, yes, I think it's going to be the Hurt Business by pinfall. What do you think the way that your match is going to end?
Yeah, so I said New Day by pinfall.
Okay.
New Day by pinfall. I can't. Well, I would be shocked if there was a tap out submission in this match. I don't think any of the guys in the match are known for that. So yeah, it's going to be a pinfall win.
Awesome. Okay, on to our second match, which has had some interesting build up. It's for another set of tag titles, the Women's Tag Team Championship. It's Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, the unlikely duo who now seem like the unstoppable forces. And they're defending against Asuka, the women's champion, and also a tag team partner to be determined. We don't even know who it's going to be. Originally, it was going to be Lana, and there's been a lot of build-up around Lana and how she's been the victim of bullying at the hands of Baszler and Jax. And suddenly this week on Raw, she was stripped out of the match through injury, and we're going to find out who's her replacement at the pay-per-view. For this match, we're going to, number one, guess who the opponent's going to be for 1 point. And then we're obviously going to guess the winner of the match and the way it's won. So do you want to tell us your predictions for this one, Luke?
Yeah, so I think Asuka and to be determined partner win the tag titles. Not that I don't like Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I think they're a good team. I just feel that the person that's coming in is somebody who hasn't been seen on WWE TV for a while, and I think her impact, they'll put the titles on Asuka and her, and the mystery partner, I think is going to be Sonya Deville. I think Sonya Deville is going to be returning. She's going to be the mystery partner. They're going to win. I'm going to go, I'm sort of torn a little bit, but I'm going to go a screwy pinfall finish. So I don't think it'll be a clean pinfall finish for Asuka and Sonya Deville. But yeah, I think this is the only one where the tag titles are, or the only championship where the titles are changing hands. And I think that's the way it's going to go.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, again, I'm going to disagree with you, Luke. I think Nia and Shayna are going to retain the belts in this one. I think they haven't held them for too long, so I think they could still do some more with it. And I think that Lana thing is going to come into play down the track again, where perhaps then she returns and takes the belts on her return. But I do think that the big units, Nia Jax and Shayna, will retain via pinfall. Now, as for the mystery partner for Asuka, gee, it's a toughie. Obviously, people are throwing around that Charlotte Flair may return, which would be quite cool. However, my pick is going to be one of the obvious ones because she returned on this week's Raw to make the save for her tag team partner, Dana Brooke, when she was getting a potential beatdown from the big units, as I know them as. I think it's going to be Mandy Rose. And yeah, it's a bit of an underwhelming one, but I do think she's going to come on board and then be unsuccessful in winning the titles. So there we have it for the second match. Both of us disagreeing again. Interesting. Very good. It is good. Okay, on to our third match. It's for the SmackDown Women's title, and we have Sasha Banks, the champion, defending against the rejuvenated Carmella. What do you think about this match, and who do you think will win it, and why, Luke?
Well, this is the most obvious one, the clearest one. I think Carmella is going to win. I think Sasha Banks. She's on she's on a good path. I think there are plans in the works for Bianca Belair against Sasha Banks moving forward. So I think the title change will probably come then. I do like what Carmella's been doing recently. I just don't think she will do enough to get it. And I think Sasha Banks will tap her out with the Banks thing.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to agree with you on that one, Luke. I also am going to be backing the boss, Sasha Banks. That said, I have enjoyed Carmella's recent antics on SmackDown. I think it's something interesting. And, you know, she was playing second fiddle to R-Truth for some time. And she had James Ellsworth there for a period. But now I really think she's coming into her own. So I am excited to see where that goes and a potential title reign in the future again. But I think Sasha Banks is too good at the moment. And leading up to the big pay-per-views, Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, I think they're going to have her going in. She could potentially defend against Bayley in the future as well. I think there's still some steam there. So, yes, I'm going with Sasha Banks via submission. So nothing crazy there.
Very good.
Okay, on to our next match. It's one that's been brewing up about 3 or 4 years in the making. It involves a newer incarnation of Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, and he's going to be fighting old and current nemesis Randy Orton in a Firefly Inferno match. Now, this has just been announced this week, and we don't know too much about what a Firefly Inferno match entails. I am assuming it involves setting your opponent on fire, but we have been led down a misleading path by WWE many times before. So I guess that's a risky one in itself when we do bet on that. Who do you think is going to come out on top for this, Luke, and tell us why?
So yeah, I think the Fiend Bray Wyatt will be coming out on top. It will be telling to see what attire Randy Orton is in. If it's a pre-record and Randy Orton is wearing, I know, like a long sleeve shirt, then the Fiend's winning. If Randy Orton is not, then I don't know, and my confidence wanes a little bit. But I feel that the Fiend losing this match will do more damage than Randy Orton losing this match to the credibility of the character and what they're trying to do. That being said, WWE do have previous history with dropping the ball with Bray Wyatt and his character on numerous occasions, so that could happen. But I think the Fiend, by sending Randy Orton alight in what I think will be a fun, interesting match to watch.
Okay, Luke, well, I agree with everything you've just said, apart from who's going to win. So, yes, I do think that WWE consistently drop the ball with Bray Wyatt and his Fiend character, and they're going to do it once again because I think that he is going to burn. I think Randy is going to set him on fire. I don't see Randy being set on fire just because he wears undies and a pair of boots to the ring. So it'll be very weird to see him set on fire. That's not what I want, but it's what I think will happen. So a shame for the Fiend, but Randy's going to come out on top by setting the Fiend on fire.
Good.
Okay, on to our two main events. Both are going to be tables, ladders, and chairs matches, which are the thematic match of this pay-per-view and something I really look forward to, actually. We first up have the WWE Championship being defended by Drew McIntyre, and he's going to be fighting AJ Styles, which I believe is a first-time ever match, which is quite interesting considering they've both been in the industry for many years, and also I believe we're both in Impact Wrestling for a period of time together.
They were,
so, who do you think is going to come out on top with this one, Luke, and tell us why?
I wish there'd been more build to this. I wish this hadn't just been a number one contender match, and then AJ Styles is in fighting Drew McIntyre. I think they're like, for these two guys, they're both excellent talents, and anything that AJ Styles is in, he can do well with. And I think this match will be the match of the night. But because the lack of build, they're not going to be taking the title off Drew McIntyre. So Drew McIntyre to win, by pinfall.
Are you sure by pinfall?
By pinfall.
Okay, interesting. Well, being a tables, ladders, chairs match, I think they had the Ascension match this week where they sent the titles up above the ring. So I think it's going to actually be defended and won by collecting the titles. I think also our boy Drew's going to come out on top. He's probably my favorite thing on Raw other than the Hurt Business at the moment. I really am a big fan of his rise from obscurity to the top. It's nice to see a Scotsman, someone not just an American figure, running the ship. And I think he's doing some great things. It almost takes me back to champions of the past like The Rock and Stone Cold. Like, he's got some kind of aura about him, which I think is lacking in the federation or the industry for a while. So there we have it. I'm gonna also agree with Drew by collecting the titles from above.
Right.
Then our second TLC match is the SmackDown version, and it's going to be the Universal Heavyweight Championship being defended by Roman Reigns, and he's defending against Kevin Owens, which again is going to be a barnstormer. Who have you got for this one, Luke, and why?
So I'm going for Reigns. I think Kevin Owens will give a valiant effort, and it will be the story of Reigns struggling to keep Kevin Owens down, and in the end will overcome and retain his title. I dropped the ball a bit on the last one about the collecting of the titles. I actually figured that this would be the main event, therefore the title. I don't think both TLC matches will have the titles up, but you're right in that there was the close, well, not the close, but a part of a segment in Raw where AJ Styles did grab the title by climbing the ladder and taking it. So perhaps both of them will have titles hanging. I think this one will have the title hanging. I think Roman Reigns will achieve it, maybe with the help of Jey Uso. Reigns to win by collecting the titles.
I have to agree with you on that one, Luke. I'm loving Kevin Owens at the moment, by the way. I think he's also had a career resurgence in the last couple of months, but nothing can topple Roman Reigns at this point in time. I think he having the run of his life with Paul Heyman and Jey Uso at his side. I think it's just exciting to watch, seeing him as a heel. People wanted it for years. Old Vinnie Mac didn't allow it, and now he's probably kicking himself he didn't do it earlier, because Roman Reigns is just doing so well. So I think he is going to show up and win, and he's going to climb that ladder and collect his title back. That's not to say that I don't think Kevin Owens is going to also put on a barnstormer. So there are our predictions for the main card. We've got some that we disagree on, some that we agree on. So that's quite interesting, Luke. We're also going to have to decide now if we're going to think that The Miz is going to cash in his Money in the Bank. So I'll leave that over to you, Luke. What do you think?
I do not think The Miz is going to cash in his Money in the Bank. I don't think he's even going to attempt it. I think the Miz keeps this very close to his chest. Potentially happens around Royal Rumble, but I'm not going to say when. Yeah, I don't think he does.
Okay, that's great to hear. So your case is still intact, Luke, and I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. I don't think that he's going to cash it in at TLC. I do think it's going to come sooner rather than later, but I don't think it's going to be at this pay-per-view. So I guess the Money in the Bank round is null and void for us.
Yep.
And then on to our last dummy, I guess you would call it, which he is no dummy, but tries to play up as one, R-Truth. Do you think he's going to be coming out of the pay-per-view as the 24/7 champion? If so, you'll get 1 point. Or do you think it's going to change hands? And if you do, who's it going to be?
Okay, so I'm going to take the safe option here. I'm going to say current champion R-Truth leaves as champ for 1 point.
Brilliant. Well, I have no clue how this is going to go, nor do I care. R-Truth, though, I think he deserves better than this.
He does.
He's only ever had one main event, I believe, many moons ago against John Cena. But I do think that he's the only entertaining thing about the 24/7 championship, and I would like to see him retain it a little bit longer than previous efforts. So again, I'm also going to bank on that he leaves the pay-per-view as champion. Okay, as far as the unannounced card, we're not going to put these into our predictions officially, but there are a few other matches that have been building up on television but have not been announced and may feature at the pay-per-view. The first one that I've been thinking about a lot is the US title, with Bobby Lashley potentially defending against Matt Riddle. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah. This one's a bit of a strange one. Again, seems like it's come out of nowhere for a title that is probably the second biggest title on the Raw brand. It's just poor planning, poor booking by the WWE, and I've had rants to you about it. I hate the fact that we're less than 48 hours out of the pay-per-view happening, and we still don't know if these matches are going ahead or not. I think it's ridiculous. If I were to choose, I would say Lashley retains, just because I can't see Matt Riddle getting the title just yet. I think he's extremely out of favor with the powers that be. And yeah, I don't think he gets the title.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one. I'm not a big Matt Riddle fan, actually. I think he is quite impressive in the ring, but his character is pretty lame, in my opinion. It's like a watered-down Rob Van Dam in some way.
Yeah, it is.
And also building into my previous prediction of the Hurt Business winning the tag titles, I'd like to see them all have gold at the next Raw. So I don't think that if this match did go down, I don't think Riddle will be winning. I think Lashley to retain. The equivalent title over on the blue brand is the Intercontinental Championship. We saw this week the Sammy Awards and Sami Zayn talking it up as he does so well. It could be potentially a match of Sami Zayn defending his title against Big E. What do you think if this match were to take place?
I think there's other things in the pipeline for Big E, bigger things in the pipeline for Big E. So I think Sammy would retain in a screwy finish, potentially a count out again, like we've had in recent weeks. I don't think that Big E will win because, as I said, I think there are other bigger things in place for him coming up.
Well, as all things are promised and sometimes shot down by WWE, I do think that there were bigger things for Big E, but I think they've dropped the ball with him a little bit. Breaking them up from the other members of the New Day seemed like he was destined to go to the main event, but he's been off of pay-per-views. He's been unfeatured on weekly television on some weeks. I think it would be a shame, but I actually think that they're going to go down the path of giving him the Intercontinental title, which actually lowers his real estate.
It does, yeah.
Just going back in time, because he was the Intercontinental Champion before he was in the New Day. He was the lackey of AJ Lee many years ago and Dolph Ziggler. And he was the champ back then. Used to come out, powder his hands, and get his match underway. And I think just throwing that title back on him to give him a singles push is a bit of a shame. But I think that's where they would go if these two fight, unfortunately. And I'd like to see him go for the big championship against Roman Reigns. But I just don't think it's happening. The other match that was floundering this week on SmackDown was the SmackDown Tag Team titles. We had Ziggler and Rude popping up. I think it's each of their 50th tag team partners with one another. They've been in and out of tag teams for many, many moons. And they obviously tried to take the titles away from the Street Profits. It came to the Street Profits winning, but it doesn't seem like this feud's over and done with. So what do you think about that one, Luke?
I'm so bored. So bored with this. Like, do something good with the Street Profits. They're excellent. Putting them up against Ziggler and Rude, it's just rubbish. It's so boring. I had to sit through it this morning watching it. I was like, oh my God.
It's not going to be glorious.
Ziggler and Rude are not winning. I wish Ziggler and Rude would go away. Street Profits will win, and then just get them into a program with some worthwhile talent for the Royal Rumble. Like they deserve that.
Yeah, someone like Otis and Chad Gable or something. Okay, and the last match that hasn't been announced, but I think it is building, is Daniel Bryan potentially having a fight with Jey Uso. These guys have obviously been entangled in Roman Reigns' business, both of them. And I think this could be a real show stealer. Daniel Bryan hasn't really done much since his return from the epidemic era where he had some time at home. Jey Uso has obviously come out of his tag team shell, and he's really broken away from the Usos, and he's become something to, be really proud of, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you think about that match potentially happening?
Well, I think the winner of it, the winner is going to be Roman Reigns' opponent at the Royal Rumble. So there's cases for both. I agree with you. Jey Uso has been doing some excellent stuff and really showcasing how he can be away from his brother and out of the tag team division and singles stuff. I know Jey Uso has a win over Daniel Bryan, so I think that being said, Daniel Bryan will win.
Well, I'd have to agree with you on that one as well, Luke. I'm a big Daniel Bryan fan. Yes, yes. But I'm also a big Jey Uso fan, and I never thought I'd be saying that in 2020. No. Daniel Bryan, however, he would need to win that in order to elevate his progress in order to go for that big title, either at the Rumble or WrestleMania. However, of course, what's really going to happen is they're probably going to wheel out Goldberg on a wheelchair and screw up all those plans. But if it were to go down as I'd like, I think Daniel Bryan to beat Uso.
Yep.
So there we have it. We've gone through the announced matches, our few dummy rounds, and of course some unannounced matches, as WWE like to do to us. Mm-hmm. I'm really looking forward to the pay-per-view on Monday, Luke. Monday our time, anyway.
Me too.
I never thought I'd say that, but it'll be now interesting to watch, knowing that we've recorded this and set it in stone. How do you think your picks are going to hold up?
I think I'm going to win, like I do with every pay-per-view we do, and then it never really comes to fruition. So we'll see. I think it's very interesting the earlier matches, how we've differed. Obviously, with the championship matches, I couldn't see that either of us were going to have a difference of opinion. So yeah, it all plays into that, and the first couple of matches, the tag championships and where they go. So I'm excited, and it's always exciting, and certainly for us now that we're on our school holidays, we can get up in the morning, we can watch live, and we can be chatting away as we go, which will be good.
Well, Luke, I'm afraid it's not going to be a good day for you on Monday because, as you know, I am the current champion, the WrestleBeards champion, and I don't see myself losing the title that easy. I think my picks are locked and ready to kill you. I don't think that roughly. But I'm super stoked. I'm happy to have finally got this video out the way. And here's to many more, Luke. So
yes,
good luck. And thanks everyone for watching. And we'll catch you for the next video. See you guys.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.
It's your boy James Ellsworth, the man of AJ's Tales. Not once, not twice, but 3 times the real winner of the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And I'm here to tell you to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube to WrestleBeards Worldwide. And remember, any man with 2 hands has a fighting chance.